What's up, guys? Want to thank you guys so much for tuning in BC Vlogs Zinc Upside Generation. I'm Corey, and this is Antrone Jones, aka Megatron, is what I like to call him. But anyway, this is our another segment of our Tested Testimony series, and Tron is going to be giving us his testimony about the great and awesome things that God has done in his life. So, Tron, man, what's been going on, man? You doing good?
How you doing? Thanks for letting me on the show.
Yeah, man, good to have you here, man.
Yeah.
So anyway,
been on for a while now.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So talk to us, man. Just tell everyone on Upside Generation, man. Just the coolest thing that God's just done in your life, man. Like, give us a testimony of what God did, man.
Man, just God has just done so much for me. You know, I was point blank period. You know, I was born, in January, and by a not so fitting mother, and drugs, alcohol, abuse. Sorry, I do that a lot.
It's okay. It's okay.
But so after about a year after I was born, I was adopted. A lot of people don't know that. And the few people that do know kind of just keep it a secret, I guess. Like, they don't tell me, they don't tell a lot of people. But, I truly thank God for that, for just the adoption alone. I'm blessed to have. I'm sorry. Because I know my situation could be a whole lot worse than what it is now. I could be dead or in prison, and that was just the lifestyle that they lived in that household. So I'm really blessed that God gave my parents now the thought of, hey, let's adopt him. Let's give him a better life.
Amen.
So, I grew up, after the adoption, grew up beautiful family, beautiful life. Thank God for that, But I heard this in a movie, and it said life is a lot of life is full of bad things,
Right.
with commercial breaks of happiness inside them.
That's good.
Everything isn't peaches and cream. All families have fights. All families argue. But it's really God and your relationship with God that makes you or breaks you, if you want to say. I could sit here and say, oh, my parents argue all the time and I can't stand them, and et cetera, et cetera. But because I know that's wrong, I don't, because I know a lot of people's situations are a lot worse than mine. I know that, and I'm thankful that I'm not in that situation, and I continue to pray for those in that situation. But yeah, a lot of things people don't know. Like, I had a sister that unfortunately passed away when we were little. We were really close, like inseparable, and she died from drowning. But I have a picture of her. It's like right when you come inside my door, inside my house, so you can't miss it. And I always see her. I know she's up in heaven, watching over me, and just because I'm 20 now, and she turned I think she would turn 19 a few months ago. So we were, like I said, around the same age. Um, Me and my dad, not to be stereotypical, but I was the opposite situation when it comes to, usually it's the dad that leaves and the mom stays and takes over. For me, my mom was the one that left. Well, I cut her off. I don't know a nice way to say that. I cut my mom off because of the situation. But me and my mom cut each other off, but me and my dad still have that strong relationship, which is good, but it's also awkward at the same time. Like, I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and he lives in Atlanta, Georgia. And we text or call sometimes, but when he comes down here, it's like we talk. He stays at the house with me, with my parents. We talk and stuff, but we never had that growing up bond that fathers and sons have. So I can't just come in and be like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Because personally, I don't know what that man wants to do or what his interests and likes are. All I know about him is we both like football. And he watches wrestling. He's the one that got me into wrestling. So that's all I know about him and other stuff. But as far as what he likes to do in his hobbies, I don't know. Um, but like besides that, no, I am truly grateful that God let me have that relationship with my dad. That relationship that I do have with him. That it's not like I can't go to him about and ask him problems like a son can do to his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that I can call him up and talk to him, and he can come down and we can talk.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I just going through life, you know, grew up, started experimenting with, weed in high school, struggle with that, like I used to do it a lot, and it finally got to a point where I think, matter of fact, it was my first night at GN, like in the old building.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I went there to help Gavin perform a song. And I can't for life remember who's I believe it was Pastor Cody. I believe it was him. And he had just an open of the altar type. Like you can come up and just talk and express
Mm-hmm.
what you've been going through.
Mm-hmm.
And that night I told Jen, I told the whole Generation X community that I was done with weed. That night was the last night.
Amen.
I struggled with it. I did mess up once after that, but after that, I just no more.
Amen.
Of course, I've struggled with that, but I can't give up. I know a lot of people are counting on me not to give up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of willpower, and it just took a lot of willpower and close calls with family, law enforcement, to realize that, hey, God trying to tell me to knock it off,
Right.
knock this crap off, this, you don't need this to be happy. And it took a while, but I think a year or a couple of years ago, like, I finally realized that, hey, what was I doing? I don't need this drug to have fun. I can sit here with Corey right now. We could talk about wrestling, and I can have one of the greatest times I've ever had with not a blunt, not a beer bottle
Amen.
in sight. You know.
Amen.
So I'm thankful for that.
Amen.
I'm like I said, it's life's full of bad things with comical commercial breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I truly do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I don't have a big, testimony. I never robbed or did any hardcore drugs or anything like that. So I consider myself blessed for that. And if you're dealing with that situation, I'm not trying to offend you. Just I haven't dealt with that situation, so I can't personally say I know how it feels. I would feel bad for myself if I was to sit here in this chair, look in that camera, and say I know how you feel, because I don't. I know my situation. But I know one thing: no matter what anybody does, God will not give up on you. He'll always be there for you. And I've truly learned that throughout the years. So.
Amen. Amen. Well, there you guys have it. Trying to thank you so much for that testimony and just what God has done for your life. And we trust that you guys were very blessed by that. So don't forget, we have more testimony videos coming up very soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe to BC Vlogs Inc. Upside Generation. And me and Bryce, we love you guys so very much. And we are thankful for each and every one of you guys. We love y'all. Good night.